Hi everyone, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm also new to my channel. My name's Marie. So far, I've only been posting time lapses of my art, but I was curious about whether you all would like it if I said more about my experiences regarding my art or more about particular pieces. Honestly though, most of the time I draw something because I get an idea in my head or simply for fun, but sometimes there's more behind a piece. Like this one. I haven't done a voiceover before, but I felt like I had more to say about this piece and what it represented for me. So in this video, I wanted to talk about that and some of the struggles I've had as an artist, in particular overcoming myself being a barrier. So starting off, this drawing means a lot to me. When the idea came to me, I was basically fed up with myself. Fed up with how often I stopped myself from doing something or trying something because I was afraid of failure. Like this channel, I had thought of starting this years ago, but I kept feeling like I wasn't good enough. And it wasn't only that, I didn't let myself do so much. Like explore things I was interested in if it wasn't cheap, because for some reason it felt like a waste of money to spend on something for myself that wasn't essential. Part of that came from my intense drive to pay off my student loans a year or two ago, which created a habit in me to be more careful about spending, which of course is good. But the other part of it that I didn't notice until recently was the waste part. Somehow I was treating myself like I wasn't worth the effort or money. I've been reading a book called The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, which I highly recommend. I'll add a link in the description below. I'll admit though, it can be a bit religious at times, and I'm not religious, but I chose to see it in a more spiritual light as she recommends for people like me. Anyways, the book in a nutshell helps artists unblock themselves creatively, and I was definitely in the target audience. At the time, which actually was a little over a month ago now, I was lost, very lost, about my art and what it meant to me. I had been drawing all my life, but I couldn't answer the question of why I even liked it in the first place. Was it even fun for me anymore? The answer was no. Throughout the book, the author encourages us to explore our interests. For years, I had been interested in watercolors. I loved the way they looked, but every time I tried, it just didn't work out. So I told myself it's not for me, and threw myself into digital art instead. I continued to admire watercolors and colored inks from afar, wishing I could make art like that myself deep down. So when she began to encourage exploration like that, I knew what I wanted to try. Colored inks. I had never tried them before. I was drawn to their vivid colors and the fact that they were permanent once dry, because that was something I was struggling with when it came to watercolors. I thought that maybe it would work this time. Right before this, one of my favorite artists, Heikala, was selling an art box with her favorite supplies, and I really wanted one. But again, that feeling came back, telling me I didn't deserve to spend that much on something I wasn't even sure I'd like. Not to mention, I already owned some of what was in the box. So I came up with the idea to create my own art box as a gift to myself. I picked out some acrylic inks online in colors I liked, along with some other painting and drawing supplies. I agonized over it for a while, but eventually I finally went for it. I bought them. And it was the best thing I've done for myself in a long time. I finally started to treat my creative self better. For me, that was the start of it all. I felt excited again. I was having fun, fascinated with the colors and the mixing, the physicality of it all that I didn't realize I had missed in all the years I was drawing digitally. I started to tune into what I enjoyed and what I didn't about my art. Not only that, I was starting to tune into other things I liked, like plants. Before all this, I didn't let myself get plants because I didn't believe I could keep them alive. So I kept telling myself, no. Now, I'm not saying to go out and go on a shopping spree, but I was realizing that I wasn't respecting all the times I was seriously interested in something. I wasn't acknowledging it, nor was I giving myself a chance. In the process of all this, I was getting to know myself better. I actually started to like my art, which it may sound odd, but really I didn't like my art for a long time and I couldn't figure out why. I thought I was just being perfectionistic, which in some ways I was, but it was deeper than that. The art wasn't me. I'm still definitely on the journey to refining my art and what I want to draw, but this has been a great start for me. This drawing was capturing that feeling of finally breaking free from the frustration, the limitations, just running, screaming, not caring. The piece itself was a struggle too. I had the image in my head. I know this happens for a lot of people. I had the image in my head, but couldn't get it out on paper quite right. Because I'm still new to colored inks and watercolors and whatnot, I couldn't seem to control the media well enough to achieve what I wanted. I understood that I couldn't necessarily get so stuck on it that I redo it a billion times, but I also could see that I could learn a lot by getting closer to that image in my head somehow. So I tried. I redid the drawing in 3 other ways, trying different methods and media. Eventually, I ended with this one. It's got mistakes, but that's okay. I learned from them, and the outcome is good enough for me to let this idea rest. I realized that all this time, I was getting in my own way. That was the reason I wasn't growing as an artist, why I felt so dissatisfied with my art, why it wasn't fun anymore. I told myself no so many times that my creative me just shut down. In finally saying yes, I feel much happier. I'm still working through the book, working to unblock myself further, getting to know myself even more, going on my art journey. And I can't wait to see where I'll end up. I'm hoping that by sharing all this, that it might help other people who might have similar feelings about their own work. Have any of you had similar struggles? I'd love to hear about them in the comments. It's always helpful to know we aren't alone in our struggles. Also, please let me know whether you like this type of content where I talk about my experience or a topic, or if you'd prefer just having music with no talking. I honestly wasn't sure whether people would like this or if I was ruining it, so I'd really appreciate the feedback. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope to see you next time. Dare to do what your heart desires and have fun. Bye everyone.